Hey guys, this is the professor, and today is the first day that it's kind of looked like fall out here. So I thought it would be a perfect day to come out, ride the trails a little bit, and cook lunch along the way. Now the meal that I'm going to prepare today is what I am entitling the worst C-Ration meal ever. And the reason I'm calling it that is because all along in the time of C-Rations, when the guys overseas had lunch and they got this meal, which by the way, they would not even pronounce the name of. They considered that to be bad luck. When they gave it to the civilians in Korea, they threw the cans back at them. But today, we are going to prepare out here in the woods lima beans and ham. And it'll be one of the worst C-Ration meals ever. Okay guys, today, of course, we're going to be cooking out here with our little Trangia stove and our canteen cup stand. Now I found that the Trangia stove is a little bit taller, and consequently what we're going to need to do is to get the canteen cup up a little bit so that the heat comes up on the bottom of the cup. The hottest part of the flame needs to be right at where the bottom of the cup is. And so I've come up with these little wires, and I'll have to say that this is not a totally new idea. I saw someone on YouTube do the same thing, and what they are is nothing but a couple of pieces of coat hanger wire. And I've bent them so that they hook right here on the bottom of this square part of my canteen cup, and then they stretch over and hook over the top over here on the other side. So there goes on the first one, and there goes on the second one. And if they're just a little bit tight and they stretch a little bit to go on, it works real well. What this does is to give the pan a kind of a steady place to sit just a little bit above the top of the canteen stove. That way the heat from the fire comes up around underneath there, heats it really good, and gives for a fast heating time. Okay, let's go over the ingredients that we're going to use for our ham and lima beans meal today. Now there's no place you can actually buy the ham and lima beans like they had in C-Rations. That was so unpopular that it is no longer sold in supermarkets. It is no longer available as MRE meals. This is one thing that the Army and most veterans are trying to forget about. So in order to recreate this meal today, what I've done is gone to the store and purchased an 8-ounce can of lima beans, and also we're going to use part of a Spam single today. Now on the internet I discovered that GIs tried many times to improve upon the ham and lima beans meal if they were unlucky enough to draw that. And so one of the things that they did to improve that was to add some other ingredients to the ham and lima beans basic mixture. So one of the things that we're going to add to that today is some cheese sauce. Now that came in small cans in the C-Rations, and so what we have here today is some Tostitos nacho cheese dip, which we're going to add to that. Another thing that GIs often did was to break up some of the crackers that came in their C-Ration meals and add cracker crumbs, which add a little bit of texture to the otherwise fairly bland lima beans and ham mixture. So now we're going to light up our stove and get started on the cooking process. Okay, we're going to open up the lima beans here and get those started warming up here first. And so once again we have the little pop open cans, which are pretty nice. We do have our P38 can opener, but we're not going to use that today. So first of all, in go the lima beans, and we'll get those started warming up here as we move on to our other ingredient, which is our ham or Spam slice of the day. These are Spam singles, available everywhere, and they are really a good way to add some ham flavor. Work good for breakfast as well, so I keep a few of these in stock all the time. And let's open that up, and what we'll do then is bring that out. We'll dice some of that into our lima bean mixture. I'd say about a half a Spam slice is about right. If you want more meat, you can shave in some more. But what I like to do is just shave some of that off and try to keep the rest of it clean. That way, pretty soon, if we need some more, or we save a little bit, we might have that with an egg for breakfast. But I'm going to put in about about half of that. Once again, as you can see here, this is not too critical. And there we go. Okay, our ham and lima beans are starting to warm up here now, so we'll go ahead and add some of our other ingredients. Remember, GIs often would take bits and pieces of C-Ration meals and try to mix them together in new ways to give some variety to their C-Rations. If they had to use those C-Rations for weeks on end, it would get pretty boring, and that was even known as menu fatigue. Now, in our case, going out on the weekends here for some fun out on the trail, I don't get too tired of this. I could probably eat it every Saturday for weeks and months, but at the same time, remember, if you had to eat these 3 meals a day for several weeks, I might be getting pretty sick of that too. What I'm going to do now is add some of the cheese here from the little package here of Nacho cheese mix. Kind of mix that in, see what we got. The cheese came in little flat cans, which you could use to eat with the crackers or whatever. In this case, I'll just kind of put some in, see what we got here. Once again, not exactly an exact science. And of course, to take up some of this liquid, what we might want to do here is add a few crackers, which will kind of turn into the form of cracker crumbs, and add those in there. And there we go. See, the little Trangia is boiling away here already. It's pretty windy out here right now. So even with the wind, the little windscreen is doing a good job of keeping the heat going. Look at her boil. Well, the ham and lima beans are cooked up, and so we're ready now to test out the worst C-Ration meal ever. At least it's hot. I would say it's average. This is the professor, and I'll see you soon.